Yeah, and I think it's natural to fight to not have the fusion. Like I didn't want a fusion either. I went in thinking I was going to get a discectomy, and I woke up and they told me they fused it. That was it. It wasn't my knowledge going in. I was going to get a fusion, but the doctor said it was just so compressed that he had no choice. And now I have no choice but to have a fusion. I got to try to make, the most positive situation out of it as possible.
100%. I remember that. I remember that story very well. I actually tell your story quite often to other people.
Yeah, man, so I woke up and I didn't even know, like, when I was talking to my family on the phone. So it was during COVID, nobody was allowed in. And I didn't even know, like, so my mom works in a hospital, she's an MRI tech, and she's like, so what was the surgery? And I'm like, well, I think they just did, the discectomy. And, that's what I thought. And then one of the nurses came in and I was talking to them, like, no, dude, you got a fusion, that, right? No, I didn't know that. So yeah, it was kind of a surprise, man, but I can't compare it to a discectomy, but I'm glad I got the fusion now because it really saved my life. Because where I was at, I couldn't move. I was laying down all the time. Like it's all I could do was lay down. I would stand there at work with a standing desk and type, and I would just pour with sweat. And I had fixed, disc herniations in the past with an inversion table. So I was just thinking, I'll fix it. No big deal. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. And it got worse and worse and worse to the point where I'm getting shocks down my left leg where it feels like I was telling my wife, I wish they could cut my leg off. Like when that happened, I would cry. I would sit there and cry. Like she had never seen that from me. Like, dude, this guy is laying in bed crying because he's getting electric shocks down his leg. So man, yeah, it's definitely something, man. But I feel like in the neck is a little bit different because you said your healing process was only 6 to 8 weeks. So how was that process?
It was pretty uneventful. And, I think pain, right, is the biggest determination. I think I got really lucky. I had kind of been pain-free. I had a lot of numbness and tingling. I didn't have the pain. And then I had twins that were born. And it just so happened that as my twins were being born, I spent the night in a hospital. And then the next day, I think I went to the chiropractor and the chiropractor cracked my neck. And that's when the pain became debilitating. And it just so happens that as all of that was happening, I got the approval to get the disc replacement. Because I can tell you the pain that I was in, had that disc replacement not been approved, I probably would have got the fusion. Because to your point, that pain and unless you've had that pain, it's really hard to describe it, but it's debilitating. As far as my recovery, the recovery was pretty good. I had a phenomenal surgeon. And so I really just got lucky. This neurosurgeon had been doing different surgeries for a long time. He was a very professional surgeon. And I remember for the first week, I don't think I could do much. I think they were really worried about me lifting stuff, right? Just to make sure that the healing and everything scars, and no major jarring. But I remembered I recovered pretty quickly. I mean, because, basically you have this pain and you have this herniation that's sitting on the nerve. And once I came out of surgery, I remember I wasn't even in pain. Whatever they had fixed had killed my pain, and it wasn't really the medicine either. So yeah, the surgery or the recovery itself just was uneventful. I think I had to rest for a week or two, and then I slowly was able to pick up things. I think I couldn't lift anything more than 5 pounds for a week or 2 weeks, and then slowly just progressed. I think I had very minimal PT, to be honest with you.
So would you say you're 100% of what you were before the surgery? Because I know you do jujitsu, and you're very active. So I mean, what would you say? What's the impact in that segment right now?
I've even checked my range of motion. I would say I'm probably at 90 or 95%. I mean, I have full range of motion completely from my neck. I really don't have a lot of pain from it. I'm pretty religious on doing trigger point relief therapy on my own. I think that is a modality that's really helped for me to keep my neck free from impingements. But yeah, I mean, I would say I've recovered at 90 or 95%.